Good afternoon. This is Cheryl Gallant coming to you live from the well-watered riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. An extension of income support for workers affected by the pandemic weeks ahead of the emergency response benefit have been announced. The government estimates an additional $37 billion needs to be borrowed in addition to the $80 billion already borrowed for the emergency response benefit. New measures include changes to employment insurance. There are also 3 new benefit programs. CERB will be extended another 4 weeks until September 26th, and a new benefit that pays $400 a week for up to 26 weeks will replace CERB for people ineligible to collect employment insurance. It is taxable at source. Now, this does not apply to employees who quit their jobs. Recipients must be actively seeking employment. And these jobs are available. At Chalk River, for example, Canadian Nuclear Laboratories is looking for people to fill various positions. Anyone who has worked 120 hours will also qualify for $400 per week. This is well below the usual employment insurance requirements. But recipients must be available and actively seeking work. And there are companies looking for people who are interested in doing meaningful work. For example, in Petawawa, the Petawawa Military Family Resource Center, the PMFRC, has many employment opportunities posted. The job openings are head educator, database administrator, and second languages service programmer. If you'd like to know more about these job openings, just send your cover letter and resume to recruitment@pmfrc.org. Also in Petawawa, Garrison Petawawa is looking for potential employees. Garrison Petawawa is looking for an insurance representative, a sports assistant, grocery department associate, and a recreation leader. If you're interested, please visit the link listed on the ad. Now, the second supplemental benefit is a $500 weekly caregiving benefit, taxable at source. This benefit is for a parent or guardian of a child under the age of 12 years who must stay at home because the school or daycare is still closed. This benefit is also taxable at source. The third supplemental benefit will provide $500 per week. It's taxable at source for up to 2 weeks for those who do not have paid sick leave and become sick and or must self-isolate for reasons linked to COVID-19. Most of the employment insurance changes and the 3 new benefits will start on September 27th, and they will remain in force for a year. But this does not apply to people who quit their jobs. Now, there's a few more details to this plan. For example, the Serb Extension. Under the old rules, workers could only apply for a maximum of 6 of the program's 7 4-week eligibility pay periods. And meaning those who had been continuously eligible for CERB since the very first period, starting on March 15th, were set to run out of benefits by the period ending August 29th. So the new rules would extend the CERB eligibility by another 4-week period, or 28 weeks in total. So if you are collecting CERB and you cannot return to work, you will be eligible to receive it until September 26th, unless your employer calls you back to work. You can still qualify for CERB if you work part-time. The earliest people can apply for this extension is October 11th, and that is contingent upon Parliament being allowed to function and all changes are agreed upon. Now for the EI changes. Canadians who qualify for employment insurance will need just 120 hours of eligible employment. That's approximately 3.5 weeks of full-time work in order to access employment insurance and work-sharing benefits. The same threshold applies to maternity, parental, sickness, as well as the family caregiver benefits. So if you were expecting to go on maternity leave, but could not go to work because your employer was forced to shut down the business, so long as you worked 120 hours beforehand, you could qualify for the $400 per week. Recipients must be available and actively seeking employment unless you're sick or you qualify for the other benefits. Earlier, I mentioned employment opportunities in our riding. Here are some other businesses that are in need of employees. If you're interested in construction, there might be an opening for you. Lafarge Wholesome is looking for a concrete driver in the Renfrew County area. If you're interested, please visit the link to learn more. Or if you'd like to work at a long-term care facility, Bonisher Manor in Renfrew is hiring. Bonisher Manor is looking for a resident aide and a director of care. If you're interested in one of these two positions, please visit the link below. So as of September 27th, the government is also increasing employment benefits to a minimum of $400 a week. Normally, claimants stand to receive 55% of their average weekly earnings, up to a ceiling of $573. But there was no floor on how little you could get. Recipients must be available and actively seeking employment. If you'd like to work in customer service, opportunities are out there for you. The Dollarama in Renfrew is looking for a sales associate. If you're interested, you can drop off your resume at the store, or you may apply online. Also, Boston Pizza in Pembroke is looking for new cooks. If you're interested, you can contact them at 613-735-8778. Since introduced on August 9th, claimants also stand to receive at least 26 weeks, approximately 6 months of benefits. Usually the number of weeks of benefits ranges from 14 weeks to 45 weeks, depending on the local unemployment rate. Higher regional jobless rates normally mean longer benefit periods under the assumption that out-of-work applicants will take longer to find new employment. Employment insurance recipients must be available and seeking employment actively. Another of the many job opportunities in our area can be found at the County of Renfrew website. The Township of North Algona-Wilberforce is looking for a new clerk treasurer. If you'd like to know more about this job, you can visit the link below. With a few exceptions, Canadians who received CERB, the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, through Service Canada, they will seamlessly be transitioned to employment insurance without the need to reapply. Those who qualify for traditional employment benefits but have been receiving the Canada Emergency Response Benefit through the Canada Revenue Agency must file a new employment insurance application. Employment insurance premium rates are not supposed to skyrocket for another 2 years. So let's summarize. For employment insurance, there are 3 new temporary benefits. First is the Canada Recovery Benefit. This is for the self-employed and others who don't meet eligibility criteria for employment insurance. So it's CERB instead of CERB. The second is the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit, CRSB, for those who are sick with COVID-19 or must self-isolate because of the virus. And the third is the Canada Recovery Caregiving Benefit, CRCB, and that is for those who cannot work because they are caring for a child under the age of 12 or a dependent because school or daycare or other facilities have been closed due to the pandemic. All 3 benefits will be administered by the Canada Revenue Agency. Now, applications are open on October 11th. And all claimants have to do is attest that they qualify for the program. So in order to qualify for the program, you have to attest to certain things. All new Canada Recovery benefits will be taxable. The Canada Recovery Benefit will provide $400 a week, the same as the minimum weekly benefit under the modified employment insurance for up to 26 weeks. And again, recipients must be available and actively looking for work. Additionally, they will be able to earn up to $38,000 in annual net income from employment or self-employment while receiving payments. And all this is taxable. Beyond that threshold of $38,000 a year, the workers will have to repay 50 cents for every dollar earned, and that's for every dollar above $38,000. This is similar to what employment insurance recipients need to do while working on claim. The benefit is only available to workers who stopped working or saw their incomes reduced because of COVID-19. Secondly, the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit will provide $500 per week for up to 2 weeks for workers who do not have access to other types of paid sick leave. Like CERB, all applicants have to do is attest that they qualify for the benefit. And thirdly, the Canada Recovery Caregiving benefit will provide $500 per week per household for up to 26 weeks, and also an attestation is required. Parents who choose not to send their children to daycare, and even though they have reopened, will not be eligible for the benefit. Parents who choose not to send their children to school, even though the schools have reopened, will not be eligible for the benefit. The Canada Recovery Caregiving benefit does apply if parents receive advice by a medical professional to keep their children home due to underlying health conditions that heighten the risks linked to COVID-19. There are other options. If you're having difficulty finding employment while on employment insurance, this may be an opportunity for you to upgrade your certifications or retrain for a new career. Take a look at the Second Career Program. The Second Career Program is a provincial government program managed by the Ministry of Training Colleges and Universities. Second Career gives you skills and training and financial support. It can pay up to $28,000 for costs, including tuition fees, books, manuals, workbooks, or other instructional costs, transportation, basic living allowance, and that's a maximum of $410 per week. It also pays for personal care. So who qualifies for a second career? If you've been laid off and have not been working, if you've been laid off and are working at a temporary job just to cover costs, if you're receiving employment insurance or have in the past, you can still apply. With the Second Career Program, you'll work through an employment services agency. In the Valley, we have Tireman and Daughters in Barry's Bay and Eganville. On-track employment in Arnprior and Renfrew. Employment services in Deep River and Petawawa. And Algonquin College Employment Services in Pembroke. Staff at these agencies will help you gather the information needed to complete your application to a second career. We are very fortunate to have two post-secondary colleges here in Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. We have Algonquin College, the campus in Pembroke, and we have Willis College, whose campus is in Arnprior. And these employment agencies can also assist you to find work. Well, we've talked about a lot throughout the afternoon with these different programs and benefits. So we're going to sign off now. The sun is shining finally this week. And this is Cheryl Gallant wishing you a good night.